We good? What up, 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 what up? It's your girl, Shy. Girl Talk, Cool Girls Book Club. Y'all, this week, we are on to another book where the Crawdads sing. I really want to get into this book because the movie is coming out. The movie is coming out, and I thought it'd be a great idea to read the book, and then let's go to the movies. Like, book, movies, you know, I think it's super cool when you read a book and then you see the movie, you see the difference between the book and the movie, and you realize that books are better than the movies, you know what I mean? But I really want to go see this book together. I really want to go see the movie together. So let's get to reading. This is your girl, Shy, Cool Girls Book Club. How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? To see the full video, you always know, go to YouTube. And we here. How y'all doing? Like, I'm doing my inner Erykah Badu, you know. How y'all feeling? So let's get to it. We read pages 1 to part 2 of the book, and that's about how many pages is that? 146. So page 146 we have read. So basically, Kaya is living in a swamp, right? She's a young girl. She's like 10 years old. She's living in a swamp. She has 5 brothers and sisters, mother and a father. One day her mother wears her nice gator shoes, and she's like, Mommy, never wear those shoes to the grocery store. Her mother never comes back. And slowly all her siblings just start to leave the house. Everybody leaves. The last one is her brother. He's like a year or 2 older than her. And the father beats him up, and she's sitting at the swamp, and he's like, Kaya, I gotta go. So now Kaya is left all alone with her dad at the swamp. Her dad never comes home. He's always outside. She has to find a way for herself to eat. Then eventually he's like, oh, I'm going to give you an allowance. You can go to the grocery store and get what you need to get with this like 75 cents. So now she got to go to the grocery store. She got to go shopping by herself. The grocery store, people are looking at her weird. She has no shoes on. She don't have no shoes. Her clothes is dirty. She looks a little stink. And everybody's just looking at her. Oh, like, oh, that's the swamp girl. That's the swamp girl. Remember, she's only 10 years old. So everybody's just looking at this girl look a little dirty, but nobody's saying nothing. Nobody asks her any questions. Nobody has seen her mother. They haven't seen her father. They know she live at the swamp, and they just judging her like, ew, that's the swamp girl. Her father ended up leaving too. Her father had a boat, so she would take the boat out and go like look at different stuff. She started collecting feathers. She started collecting like different bird stuff, different nests, and like really organizing it and really getting into it because she has no friends. She has no friends but nature. She's by herself living in this swamp house. A guy named Tate comes along who was her brother's friend, and he, you know, he's nice to her. He started talking to her. He ends up teaching her how to read and write, and she ends up falling in love with him. Now, Kaya went to school for 1 day. You got to come through? It's so good. It's girl talk. It's girl talk. It's girl talk. Kaya went to school for 1 day, and she was teased very bad. So every day the school people come, they come looking for her. She hides out until they leave, until eventually nobody comes looking for her anymore. So this girl is 10 years old and already living by herself. It's a very good book, and I hope y'all getting into it. And if you read past part 2, that's fine. You know, that's fine. But I want y'all to write down certain things and how y'all feel about this, because I'm sure this happens a lot where everybody's like, oh, I'm just going to mind my business. Oh, I'm minding my business. But there's a child living by herself, sometimes going days without eating, and nobody cares because they just know she's the swamp girl. But she's a little girl. So that's just crazy, right? So Tate ends up going away to college. He gets accepted to college. And he tells her, like, oh, I'm going to come back Christmas break. Tate doesn't come back. So now she's by herself again, and that's how part 2 ends. Like, she's waiting for Tate. Tate never comes back. This is her only friend. The guy told her how to read, how to write, her first kiss, everything. And now he disappears. So now again, she's left all alone, just with the outside world, just with the snails, just with the birds, and the seagulls become her friends, and she, she starts to even learn their languages because she's just always alone and just outside. Questions. And from the age of 10, if you were left by yourself, would you be able to survive? Like, think about it. Being 10 years old back then, back, or looking at your 10-year-old, if you left them all alone, what would happen? Would they survive? This chick is surviving. Like, she is surviving and she's doing it, but it's sad. Like, your mom left, your father left, like, you're basically an orphan. You don't know what nobody is. Your siblings left. You're the youngest child. Like, can you imagine, like, what she's going through, or her mental health, or the things that she's feeling? Nobody even comes to check on her. Nobody even cares about her. They just look at her like, oh, the dirty swamp girl. And this is set back, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Let me tell y'all the date, the year. So this is like in year, like 1969, right? So back then with racism and all that stuff. So she's a white girl, and this guy, he works at like the fish store where she could buy the worms and stuff to go fishing and catch stuff. And he's a black man. And he becomes fond of her, and he becomes like a father figure to her. But, there's not so much that he can help her with because racism is big where they at. And, a black man and a white girl, even though she's the swamp girl, it's not too much that he can do without, somebody trying to attack him. Was there a time when you had no friends? Like, can you go without having friends? Can you go without having a lover? Like, do you need people in your life? I think this book makes you think about things a little differently. Like, she's 10 and she's surviving. So all the things that we think we need, do we really need them? Can we live with the bare minimum? Could you live without your cell phone? You know what I mean? Could you go back to having a beeper or having to use a payphone? Is like, do you need these things, or is it just stuff that we want because we have it and now? But if they was to take everything away from us, if they was to take a social media away from us, podcasts and all this social stuff, will we be able to survive? Like, what would we do? Like, we would have to go back to like really showing our talents, and really, it wouldn't be about the views. It'd be about really going outside and hustling and really getting those people to back you up. Right now, I feel like the world is like, the more views you have, the more popular you are. Even if you just sitting here like this. If you got 1 million views, like, it's hot. So how do y'all feel about that? How old were you when you first had your heartbreak? Like, I feel like that first heartbreak, men and women, it's always memorable. Like, you remember the person, the time, the place, the date. And then after that, things become a little blurry. But that first heartbreak, like Tate, he loved her. They was together. He goes away to school, and now he's just nowhere in sight. Like, I think somebody disappearing out your life and just never coming back. Like, what? Call me. Send me a letter. Do something. What's good? So that's it. But what's up, y'all? This is Girl Talk, Cool Girls Book Club. Every Sunday. How y'all feeling? How y'all doing? This is our second book we reading. It's by Delia Owens. Okay, with the Crawdads sing. And the movie is coming out. And I want all of us to go to the movies together and watch it and chill and just get that whole experience. So this is the reason, one of the main reasons why we're reading this book. And it was and it's good. It's good. I started reading it. It's really good. And I know y'all probably thinking like, oh, we want to read. Okay, so for me, book reading is not about like black, white, Spanish, like it's Chinese. It's not about that. It's about the book being good and seeing if I can learn something out of it. So we're going to do a variety of books, and it's not all going to just be black authors. It's going to be all authors, all books that's good. So join the Cool Girls Book Club. It's for everybody. It's for you, him, her, them, they. Right? It's for everybody. So join in the Cool Girls Book Club. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Let's talk about some good news, right? So I feel like I said before, we always hear about bad stuff. You know what I mean? You turn on the channel, it's this. It's always bad. Somebody getting shot, somebody dying, somebody taking money. Like, it's just never like, can I just turn on the TV and it's like a rainbow, like people smiling? Like, you know, it's like the news is always bad. So my good news is mad places is hiring. I looked online yesterday, there's so many places hiring that you do not have to have a job. Like, Amazon is hiring like crazy, first of all. Amazon is hiring like crazy. I went online, it's like Amazon, all these UPS, all these places is hiring, and they have benefits. So if you're looking for a job, just look online. It's going to be right there. And also, what department was that? The health department? Remember we met the guy in the store, and he's for the garbage in the city? What's it called? I got silence in the background. I'm trying to help me remember what it's called. You know, what's the people who pick up garbage? Sanitation. Yeah, sanitation. Jesus. We having sanitation is hiring. Sanitation of like New York City is hiring. Actually, me and Silence was in the store the other day, and this guy came in like, hey, do you guys need a job? Sanitation is hiring. We need more black and brown people. So for some good news, sanitation is hiring. Also, so y'all know, I'm back in film school. Summer classes is over. Hallelujah. I'm waiting for my grades, and hopefully that'll be some good news that I share with y'all. But there's this app called Canopy, Kanopy, right? And it's kind of like a Netflix or like a Hulu, but you have to have a library card to have it. So if you guys don't want to pay for Hulu, don't want to pay for Netflix, because everything is going up, prices is going up for everything, Canopy you get for free. You just got to have a library card, and when you put your information in, you use like your library card and your zip code, and it just comes through. And I think the password, they're going to ask you for your password is like your phone number, the last digits of your phone number. But with Canopy, if you're having problems, you can call your local library and they'll help you because they know about the app also. So I really wanted to tell people about Canopy because it's free. And I don't know if people know about it. And if you do, shout out to you. And if you don't, now you do. You learn something new every day. There's a film studio open up in Yonkers, right? It's supposed to be like a big, like Hollywood, like super huge, super big. So hopefully that'll create more jobs and help people like me, like you, us creators and people that's trying to do creative things, do stuff here and not have to go all the way to the West Coast to, you know, to do movies and stuff. It's coming right here, or to Atlanta with Tyler Perry. So we having something come right here in our own town. So hopefully they hire us, you know what I mean, and let us, the people, and create, and that'd be super cool. So what's good? What's up? What y'all up to? Like I said, With a Crawdads Sing is a really good book. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I already kind of read most of it, so I'm excited for y'all to catch up and, you know, and read with me. And let me know in the comments if you want to do some read-alongs. If y'all want to read together, read certain chapters together, I will do that live. But I have to know that you guys want to do it. So if you want to do a read-along live and talk about what's going on live, we can do that. So raise your hands, write me, email me, conversationswithshy@gmail.com. Subscribe to my YouTube, official_Gurrltalk, my Patreon, www.patreon.com/Gurrltalk. It's just another way of supporting Gurrltalk. We got some Ask Shy questions. Okay. Why they left that little girl in the house, but when I tried to stay the weekend with my boyfriend, I got arrested? Well, this is a book, right? This is a book, and you cannot leave your kids by themselves for the weekend, and they should not have left this little girl. She honestly, nobody ever came. Oh, I can't tell y'all. My bad. I was about to tell y'all the story. But they shouldn't. Like, it's just crazy for kids to be left home by themselves. Actually, I know we're talking about good news, but I just seen that I was looking on Instagram, and the girl left her baby with her friend, and the friend beat the baby to death. So Also with, you know, us wanting to have fun, especially when we have kids younger, you know, you just like, yeah, watch my, you know, just be careful, because I know that girl's going through it right now. And our condolences to her, to lose your child like that when you thought you was leaving the baby with somebody who was responsible and would take care of your baby the way that you would. So, you know, our condolences. Hey, Sha, would you rather live city or the country life? I need a little bit of both. Like, I don't really want to live in a city where you hear fire trucks and all. Well, maybe I'm thinking New York City, where you hear all that noise all day. I want to get to a point where I can live on the outskirts of things. You know what I mean? Like, Mount Vernon's the outskirts, and I always said to you, I'm going to live on California Road, and I'm going to say this one more time. I'm going to live on California Road. So California Road is like a street in Mount Vernon where it's nice, big houses. So the high school, Mount Vernon High School, is far, not far, but it's like at the end of Mount Vernon on the other side, right? So going to school, when you live on the south side and you live in a building or whatever you from, when you went to school, it was like, dang, this is a whole nother neighborhood. Like, there's some huge houses. Like, I want to live here. So I always said, like, when I was walking home seeing these houses, that one day I'm going to live on California Road. I'm going to live on California Road in a house, in my own house. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. For next book, guys, we're going to read from part 2 to chapter 45. Part 2 to chapter 45. And we'll just keep going. You know, we're going to have 3 readings of this book. And hopefully at the end, we can go to the movies and see it. If you're down for that, let me know, and we out of here. Like I said, this is Girl Talk, Cool Girls Book Club. This is your girl, Shy. If you want to come on the show, because people can still come on the show. People can still come on. You just let me know, and I'll schedule you in, and we can still promote you. Girl Talk is still about promoting people, about teaching, about learning, and I want to learn with y'all. So that's why I'm doing Girl Talk Book Club, because it's not all about, you know, just talking and saying what you think or how you think things should be. Like, let's read, because I feel like reading really starts to expand your brain and the things you think about, and it takes up time. Like, there's a lot of people suffering from, like, anxiety and other things like that, and reading a book is really good, especially when it's a good book, because it just have you, like, you know, you forget, you can't read and think about all those anxiety problems. So reading kind of just helps me, I'm going to say from my point of view, it just slows things down. It slows it down, especially when you're writing notes and stuff on it, if you have the time. So also what I do, I have a podcast. On any podcast station, you can check out Girl Talk Cool Girls Book Club. And if you can't look at the video, you could just read it. And shout out to everybody listening to the podcast right now. Tune in, YouTube official _ Girl Talk. I think that's it. I didn't write that down. All right, pause it. I know, that's what I said. I didn't, because I read this